I'm Dave Caddy, the Food Dude, and I'm standing outside the Super Cao Nguyen market. Got some really exciting fruit to check out today. Ba Lung, he's co-owner of the market here. He's going to take us through. He's going to show us how to cut it, what to look for. He's going to explain a little bit about how it's inspected, how we make sure that food that comes from out of the country is safe when we get it here. Super Cao Nguyen market, taste test. Let's check it out.
So we have a star apple. These are actually brought in from Vietnam, and so they're imported, brought into the United States, and we've got them here today. And so this basically is kind of a milky fruit. Okay. And so once you open it inside, you would eat the center. The rind and part of the outside closest to the rind will be a little astringent, so you just want to scoop it out. And when we cut it open, you'll see it's kind of a milky texture, and so you can actually squeeze it and squeeze out some of the milk that comes out of this fruit on there.
So you're going to milk the fruit?
Yeah. You said it, I didn't. So you basically just cut it straight down here like this, and you can kind of see here. So once I squeeze it, you can see some of the milk coming out. So I'm going to grab a spoon here, and you're welcome to try some, Dave. And so you basically just scoop it out, and so it's kind of like a custard apple, but it's one of those tastes that, you know, there's no comparable fruit on there.
Okay.
So our next fruit is the passion fruit. Most people have probably never seen a passion fruit in real life. Typically they see it in a sauce, or they see it in some type of smoothie, or they'll see it in a snow cone. So we've got the actual fresh passion fruit here. These are actually grown in Mexico. And so we got them here, and the interesting part is that when you cut open a passion fruit, you don't want to cut it all the way through. You want to cut it most of the way through there, and then you'll open it here, and you'll see why. And so it looks almost like it's got little raisins inside. It looks almost like a pomegranate. And so the best use of this would be to mash it up, get this, the juice out. You can make a sauce with it if you're a chef. My kids actually love making passion fruit lemonade. So next up, we have got a green mango from Vietnam. And so these are going to be green. They're going to be kind of crispy, almost kind of like a green apple in texture. And then it'll be a little bit sour on there, and a little bit of sweetness inside. And so people, whenever they eat these, they want the texture, they want a little bit of the tartness. You can think of it almost kind of like a palate cleanser on there. And sometimes people will just eat this as is, and then they'll dip in a little bit of fish sauce and some chili. And so what I'm going to just cut it straight down here and kind of avoid the seeds, so you can kind of see what's inside on here. And so you've got kind of a green texture on here. And so you can actually, my kids actually just like to just cut it real thin like this, and then just eat it straight from here. And just kind of, you can eat the rind on there, but they typically will avoid the rind. And then sometimes what they like to do is they like to just cut a little thin slice like this, and then cut it in half, and then just eat it from there. So our next fruit is a Durian, and so this one's slightly split open for us already. And so typically when you open a Durian, you want to open it from the bottom on there. And so once you get the bottom, there's perforations kind of naturally in the fruit in there that you can kind of pull the whole fruit apart on there. And so you can see you've got the little pods on there, and you've got kind of like that little creamy texture. And once you get it pulled apart, you're going to scoop out each of the little the creamy pods on here, and then inside there's a seed. And the durian is a fruit that you know, you can kind of smell that here. I wish we had smell-o-vision, because it's got a little bit of the sulfur smell. And so people say that it's sweet in taste, and I kind of describe it almost kind of like when you sweat onions down. That's kind of the texture that you get. Okay. And it's not super sweet in the conventional sense of like a grape or something like that. Right. It's just sweet, kind of like in the onion. Actually, the it's an interesting point, because the USDA, before it comes in, all these fruits are irradiated. Okay. And so they irradiate that to kill any type of pests on there. Mm-hmm. And actually, there's permits associated with every single one of these fruits that come in. And so we can actually identify who brought it in, when it was harvested, where it was irradiated by the USDA, and so they certify that for these types of tropical fruits. They also do that for grapes and bananas and all other types of fruits that you see in the conventional grocery
Yeah,
store.
you guys import a lot of stuff, so you're obviously in tune with all that stuff, right?
Yeah, but it also happens with apples, it happens with
everything,
grapes, everything that's brought into the United States.
Yeah.